The 2024 US presidential election is approaching. However, a shadow hangs over the democratic process. MAGA activists are mobilizing. They are preparing to challenge the election results if Donald Trump loses. This is not just a repeat of 2020. Their efforts are more organized. They are employing new tactics. This raises serious concerns about potential chaos and violence. The stakes are incredibly high. American democracy is being tested. The right to free and fair elections is fundamental. The actions of these activists threaten to undermine this right. Their efforts extend beyond simply questioning the results. They are actively working to sow distrust in the entire system. This dangerous rhetoric has the potential to incite violence and unrest. We must be aware of the seriousness of this threat. The Stop the Steal movement, infamous for its role in the January 6th Capitol attack, is back. This time it's not just a spontaneous outpouring of anger, it's more organized and strategic. Activists are holding meetings, they are establishing communication networks, they are even conducting training sessions. Their goal is clear: to overturn the election if Trump loses. They are prepared to challenge the results in court. They plan to pressure lawmakers to reject the outcome. The movement is fueled by misinformation and conspiracy theories. Social media plays a key role in spreading this disinformation. False claims about rigged voting machines and widespread fraud are rampant. These claims are often amplified by influential figures, further fueling the fire. This organized effort poses a significant threat to the peaceful transfer of power. The movement's increasing sophistication and reach should alarm all Americans. MAGA activists are employing a multi-pronged strategy to challenge the 2024 election. Legal challenges are a key component of their plan. They aim to flood courts with lawsuits alleging voter fraud. These lawsuits may lack evidence. However, they can create delays and sow doubt. Another tactic is pressuring state legislatures. Activists are urging lawmakers in key states to reject the popular vote. They want these legislatures to appoint their own electors. This would bypass the will of the people. They are also organizing protests and rallies. These events serve to energize their base and intimidate opponents. The January 6th attack demonstrated the potential for these gatherings to turn violent. The multifaceted nature of their strategy makes it even more dangerous. Each tactic on its own is concerning. Combined, they pose a serious threat to the legitimacy of the election. Section 4. Amplifying disinformation, the spread of election fraud claims. In recent years, the spread of election fraud claims has become a significant issue, particularly during and after major elections. Disinformation is the lifeblood of the Stop the Steal movement. This movement thrives on the rapid dissemination of false information, which is often designed to mislead and manipulate public opinion. False claims about election fraud are being spread widely. These claims are often shared without verification, leading to a widespread belief in inaccuracies. Social media platforms are a breeding ground for these lies. The algorithms of these platforms often prioritize sensational content, which can include misleading or false information. Influential figures, including Trump himself, often amplify these claims. When prominent individuals endorse these falsehoods, it lends them an air of credibility that can be hard to counteract. These claims have been repeatedly debunked by election officials and experts. Despite the clear evidence and numerous fact checks, the false narratives persist. However, they continue to circulate and gain traction among Trump's base. The repetition of these claims reinforces their perceived validity among supporters. This constant barrage of misinformation creates an environment of distrust and suspicion. People become increasingly skeptical of official sources and more likely to believe in conspiracy theories. Many Americans now doubt the integrity of the electoral process. This widespread doubt undermines the foundation of democratic governance. This erosion of trust is incredibly damaging to democracy. When citizens lose faith in the electoral process, it weakens the very structure of our political system. It creates fertile ground for unrest and violence. The polarization and anger fueled by these false claims can lead to real-world conflicts and disruptions. The spread of disinformation is a serious threat to a fair and accurate election. Ensuring the integrity of elections is crucial for maintaining public trust and social stability. It is crucial to counter these lies with facts and evidence. Fact-checking and transparent communication are essential tools in combating misinformation. We must all be critical consumers of information, especially online. By verifying sources and questioning the validity of what we read, we can help stem the tide of disinformation and protect our democracy. Section 5. Incitement to violence, a dangerous undercurrent. Perhaps the most alarming aspect of the Stop the Steal movement is the dangerous undercurrent of violence. The rhetoric used by some activists is incredibly inflammatory. They are calling for their supporters to fight back against a stolen election. This language is dangerous and irresponsible. It has the potential to incite violence and chaos. The January 6th attack should serve as a stark reminder of what can happen when such rhetoric goes unchecked. Law enforcement agencies are on high alert. They are aware of the potential for violence surrounding the 2024 election. Security measures are being increased at polling places and government buildings. The threat of violence is real and should not be taken lightly. It is crucial for leaders and citizens alike to condemn violence and promote peaceful dialogue. Section 6. Expert analysis, a grave threat to democracy. Election security experts and political analysts are sounding the alarm, raising concerns that have never been more urgent. They believe that the organized efforts to challenge the 2024 election pose a grave threat to American democracy, a system that has been the bedrock of the nation for centuries. They warn that the country is on a dangerous path, one that could lead to unprecedented turmoil and division. We are witnessing an unprecedented assault on our electoral system, says Dr. Rachel Kleinfeld, a democracy expert at the Carnegie Endowment for International Peace. Her words echo the sentiments of many who fear for the future of democratic governance. The spread of misinformation and the willingness to resort to violence are deeply concerning, as they undermine the trust and stability that are essential for a functioning democracy. These experts emphasize that the threat is not limited to one party or ideology. It is a widespread issue that affects all citizens, regardless of their political affiliations. It is an attack on the very foundations of American democracy, threatening the principles of freedom, equality, and justice that the nation was built upon. They urge citizens to be vigilant and to defend the right to free and fair elections, emphasizing the importance of civic engagement and participation in the democratic process. The warnings from these experts are stark and sobering, reminding us that democracy is not a given, but something that must be actively maintained and protected. They highlight the fragility of democracy and the need to actively protect it, urging every citizen to take responsibility in safeguarding the democratic values that define the nation. Section 7. Safeguarding the vote, a collective responsibility. The 2024 election is a pivotal moment for the United States. It represents not just a choice between candidates, but a choice about the future direction of our democracy. The right to free and fair elections is under attack. This fundamental right, which is the cornerstone of our democratic system, faces unprecedented challenges. Protecting this right is not just the responsibility of the government. While officials play a crucial role, they cannot do it alone. It is a collective responsibility. Every citizen has a part to play in ensuring the integrity of our elections. Citizens can play a vital role in safeguarding the vote, from volunteering at polling stations to participating in voter education initiatives, there are many ways to get involved. We must be informed voters, understanding the issues, knowing the candidates, and being aware of the voting process are essential steps. We need to be aware of the tactics being used to suppress votes and spread disinformation. Recognizing these tactics helps us combat them effectively. We must report any suspicious activity to the authorities. Vigilance is key in maintaining the integrity of our elections. We also need to engage in respectful dialogue with those who hold different views. Constructive conversations can bridge divides and foster understanding. It's crucial to challenge misinformation and conspiracy theories with facts and evidence. Truth is the foundation of a healthy democracy. We must remind our fellow citizens that democracy depends on our collective commitment to truth and fairness. Every vote counts and every voice matters. The future of American democracy hangs in the balance. The choices we make today will shape the nation for generations to come. It is time for all citizens to stand up and defend the integrity of our elections. Together, we can ensure that our democracy remains strong and vibrant.